Repugnus, quick!
What is it? What is it?
Look, quick, we have to decide which of these Ultra Magnus toys is the best.
Oh, wait, what? Why? Why do we have to do that? Can't you just say they're both as good as each other?
No, Repugnus, it's the internet. If we don't make those kind of arbitrary decisions,
We'll what?
we won't be really famous anymore.
Ah!
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 Ah! I got Kingdom Ultra Magnus a wee while ago, and it got me thinking, it's good, but have all the advancements in engineering and toy production in general actually resulted in a better toy than the original G1 Ultra Magnus? Well, this is the commemorative reissue of Ultra Magnus, but don't make a big fucking deal out of it. But how do you even decide something like that? Well, we do it by using our patented Quintesson system. Now, I hear you ask, what is the Quintesson system?
What is the Quintesson system?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. Well, it's a 5-pronged point system. Each round will look at a different category, and whoever walks away with the most points at the end will be the winner.
And that's legally binding, yes?
Oh goodness, no, we can change our minds whenever we want on this one.
And what about the people watching this video?
Oh, yes, it's legally binding for them. Yes, okay, I think now we've explained how this works. You want to kick us off with the first category?
The first category is Posability.
Now, I'll put my hands up on this one. This is a very unfair way to kick things off, I know, but I don't make the rules. God, I wish I did. The original G1 Ultra Magnus is a brick. Now, I have a brick here for reference, so I'm sure you'll agree they are very similar. I love this toy, but posable it is not. No legs to move, no head swivel, even breaking out the little cab mode. As much as I love that mould, it's not exactly Val Kilmer, is it? Kingdom Ultra Magnus takes full advantage of modern engineering and it looks incredible while doing it. He's extremely chunky, but you can get some really fun poses out of him. That inner robot is an absolute peach as well. I dare say you can get more out of Kingdom Magnus than the Masterpiece version. In fact, literally, because the Masterpiece doesn't have an inner robot at all. So for posability, that goes to Kingdom Ultra Magnus.
Category 2, Value.
What are you really getting for your money? Now, adjusting for inflation, these lads are fairly comparable in price. They're not exactly cheap toys to own, so which of them represents the most value for your money? Now, G1 Magnus has a ton of features that don't really get talked about in the Western instructions. First up, you can use the trailer cab as a repair bay, and I know it looks kinda lame, but it is something. The trailer actually carries cars, and can be used to launch jets if you can believe that. There's also a battle station mode you can mess around with. I didn't know about any of this until years after I got the toy, maybe like 20 years, but still, there's a lot here. Kingdom Magnus doesn't really have any of that. He's great, and both modes are good fun, and getting him to and from those modes it's parts formery, but considering the inspiration, we can't really hold that against him. I think he'll be my Magnus for messing around with for a long time, but that said, he can't really stop the crazy amount of half-coherent features of G1 Magnus, so G1 Magnus takes it.
Category 3, Faithfulness.
Now, the character of Ultra Magnus has changed a fair bit in the 30 years we've known him. We don't necessarily have to just fall back on how they look here, but how their toys portray the personality of the character we're looking at. The G1 Ultra Magnus was a no-nonsense soldier who preferred taking orders to giving them, but still had the right stuff to lead when he needed to. And this square, dependable breeze block absolutely radiates those qualities. He may have a slightly haunted man in the iron mask quality, but that just adds to the worry biting at his stomach circuits. He's dependable, he's Ultra Magnus. Now, we haven't seen the Kingdom TV show yet, but if we extrapolate the data from the Siege and Earthrise shows, Ultra Magnus here is a sap who gets bodied immediately after trying to disguise himself with a human-sized beach towel. Now, I just don't feel that with this toy. It's a great Ultra Magnus, but is it faithful to the show? Well, in terms of strict, they're using the toy model in the show, yes. But does the toy embody how Ultra Magnus feels in this show? Absolutely not. So G1 Ultra Magnus takes faithfulness.
Category 4, Fiddleability.
I've played with Generation 1 Ultra Magnus at least once a year since 1986, so I'm going to try not to let nostalgia take too much of a hold here, but what a toy. It's just great to pick up and change back and forth. The main pain in the arse is the accessories don't really have a place to live. If you're planning on leaving Magnus in his truck mode, you've got to set aside the accessories and hope someone doesn't hoover them up. It's one of my all-time favourite things on Earth, but when I look at the shelf sometimes I think, fuck this, I don't have the energy. But Kingdom Magnus, I'll be honest, there is of course a recency bias because I only just got them. But those accessories, they all get used in the transformation. Nothing sits at the side waiting for a hungry pet or a socked foot. And I appreciate that. I think that genuinely means I'm going to be more likely to pick this version up for a quick transformation and then putting it back on the shelf. And for that reason, Kingdom Magnus takes it.
Category 5, Fun Factor.
Kingdom Ultra Magnus has got a lot going for him. The inner robot is really good fun. It's great to mix and match the armour in different configurations. Magnus is sturdy enough to take a lot of the weaponizers and fossilizer armour, so there's a lot to love there. The biggest downside, and I feel this is where it really lets the side down, is that truck carrier mode. It looks good, yes, but it's just a bit useless. No space for any other car, barely even a mini-bot, and it's a real shame because that's a big part of what I love about the character. He'll take the strain where needs be. And G1 Magnus is kind of the opposite. You're either in the armour or you aren't. And the biggest crucial difference though, as I'm sure you're waiting for here, he can carry other toys in his vehicle mode. And there's just something so satisfying about having Magnus horse around with a few pals in his guts. Both toys are great fun, but for different reasons. The truck mode though, that steals it for me and it has to go to G1 Ultra Magnus. Well, you know what that means. It's a score of 3-2. G1 Ultra Magnus takes this one, and who would have guessed that from a man approaching 40? In no way does that mean that Kingdom Magnus is a bad toy. It really is incredible, and I would very much recommend it to everyone. I wasn't even a big fan of the Siege one, really. I gave it away to Toy Fu. But this one, love it. Everyone should have several Ultra Magnuses, in my opinion, and this would make a great start to your Magnus shrine. Still, big congratulations to G1 Magnus. You earned it, kid. So there we go, that's that.
How do you feel?
I feel like I've done some real good here today,
Oh, really? Okay, cool. Well, I'm a bit hungry.
Yeah, now you mention it, I am too. Do you want to order an The fuck? What was that?
Oh god, oh no. Oh no, it's the Masterpiece. It's Masterpiece Magnus. You've woken him up.
Oh no, you don't.